Good morning, Avon. I'm Daryl Hardy, back again with another guidance counselor and guest anchor.
That's right, I'm Mr. Thompson. Thanks for watching the Oriole Report.
Let's start off the morning with a quick look at our weather.
Thanks, Daryl. Today we start off at a cool 54 degrees before rising to 57 at 3 p.m. and staying at 57 at 7 p.m. with rain the whole rest of the day. Tomorrow it'll be cloudy with a high of 58 and a low of 36. Thursday it will be sunny with a high of 63 with a low of 46. Finally, on Friday it will be rainy with a high of 57 and a low of 39. Back to you.
Our performing arts have been busy this past weekend. Our Avon High School Black and Gold, Bella Voice, and combined men's choirs all received gold from the ISMA organizational contest. Also, the Avon Philharmonic and Intermezz orchestras also earned gold with distinction at the ISMA state qualifier. Come support the state runner-up Avon Symphony Orchestra this Saturday at the ISMA State Qualifier at 3:10 p.m. Admission is free. In sports tonight at 5 p.m., our boys varsity and girls varsity track and field compete in county at home. Also at 5, the girls varsity tennis team competes at Fishers in an away game. At 5:30, the boys freshman baseball team takes on Brebeuf at home. Finally, at 6, both the girls' JV and varsity softball teams take on Fishers at the youth night at home.
The primaries are coming up on May 8th, including the referendum. Our Christian Steiner takes a closer look.
Coming up, May 8th, there will be a referendum on the ballot. This referendum has sparked controversy as to whether or not it should pass. Dr. Horniman gives us the details about the referendum.
A referendum is a ballot question where the school district asks the public to voluntarily pay additional taxes to support the schools. And so it can only be decided on an election ballot, and ours happens to be on the May 8th primary ballot. Good public schools mean a good community, and public schools that are declining mean home values decline and the quality of life declines. So there is no doubt in my mind that this referendum, if it is successful, will have a powerful impact on education here in our school district. Our students will feel the difference next year if the referendum passes. And by that happening, we will continue to maintain the good quality of Avon schools, but hopefully even improve the quality of what we're doing here, improve the experiences for our students, which will make Avon an even more attractive place to live.
We also spoke to Avon community members on both sides about their thoughts on the referendum.
So I'm a very enthusiastic supporter of passing the referendum. And the reason I feel so strongly about it is that I am firmly convinced that the school corporation has engaged in every cost containment strategy that is possible. I think that it's important to provide everything we can as citizens of Avon to people like you and your classmates. I want you and your classmates to have a thrilling life. And all of that starts with a quality education.
You know, this is really important for our school system right now. I think we're at a critical junction in regards to funding. The state simply has not kept up with funding to make sure our schools are supported well. So I have 3 children in Avon schools. So I have 2 at East and 1 at Sycamore, and we're highly involved with the school system. So I just think right now it's the right thing to do. It's right for our community, it's right for our schools. We believe that stronger schools equals stronger community and well-equipped students.
I think it's very important for our community to have a strong school system. Me being a graduate here of Avon, I lived here my whole life, last 58 years. My family's been here for 100 years, so it's very, very, very important that we continue to have a good school system.
Well, I have mixed feelings about it. Obviously, I'm all in favor of teachers being paid and adding more resources for them. However, in this situation with the referendum, I think that we are being taxed enough as it is, and another $200 or $300 a year in taxes for me personally is going to hit my pocketbook and make a little tougher on me to make ends meet. I just received a bill yesterday for the new stormwater bill of Avon 2, which again, it's not much, but that, $30, $40, $50 a year, it all starts adding up.
Not everyone was comfortable speaking about their thoughts against the referendum. Here are a few comments. Quality education does not have to be expensive. I saw a pro-referendum comment recently that stated some extracurricular activities were cut out after the last referendum and kids suffered. Here in Avon, there certainly are a lot of spoiled people. Look up suffering. You won't find the lack of school-sponsored middle school B-team basketball or not being able to attend a club in the definition. There's no place to cut, they say, just like the $1.3 trillion spending bill Congress put out yesterday. When it's not your money, it's easy to spend on wants instead of needs. Education spending nationally always goes up. Spending on administration goes up too. Student achievement has been flat for 40+ years. Who exactly will this benefit? Avon voting age students share their thoughts.
I've been a DECA chapter officer here at Avon for 3 years, and I've gotten to work with hundreds of students, and so many of those kids have amazing potential and are really smart, but they don't get the chance to culminate their own skills and their potential just because we don't have some of the classes that other schools offer, like the international bachelorette classes or the IB classes that help you focus on getting a head start in your career. The third reason is class sizes. I've had the amazing chance to become really good friends actually with a lot of my teachers just because I was able to talk to them after school or get to go on DECA trips with some of them like Mr. Harnigal and Mr. Droshy. But if those class rises increase, then that just becomes very difficult for the students and the teachers to connect like they once used to. I've even heard of some teachers that might not be able to return just because of the class sizes and the pay cuts that they've been taking, and that's just detrimental to Avon's community as a whole.
We spoke to an Avon student who was against a referendum off camera because they wanted to remain anonymous. Here are his thoughts. I do not support the referendum because it is an unjust tax. Here is the thing. A lot of you guys that are for the referendum are arguing that most people live in Avon just for the schools, which isn't necessarily true. Why should residents of Avon who lived here for the city itself have to pay a tax for a school in which they don't care about? This tax is especially going to hurt lower and middle class residents of Avon. So why should they have to be hurting at the expense of the school systems, which are pretty well off in the first place? Kids are still well above the average of the state in terms of education. So how about instead of forcing a bill onto those that don't want it, you give private donations to the school corporation? Those that want the school systems to have extra money can give private donations, and then those that don't and might not even have kids in the schools won't have to pay an unfair tax. Taxation is theft, especially a tax such as this.
Let's talk about students because that's why we're doing this. This isn't about teachers, this is about students. Right now, as you know, you have a number of classes that have too many students in them. Your teachers have some classes of 35 in a Spanish class, or too many students in a special education class, or not enough resources. And so number one, we want across the district, kindergarten through 12th grade, we want to get our class sizes back to something reasonable. So what our students are going to see is an immediate reduction in their class sizes. They're also going to see some additional support in terms of counselors. We need more counselors in our school system, absolutely no doubt about it. They're also going to see increased opportunities in every area. We don't want to be cutting classes. We want to make more opportunities for students. Also about making sure that we keep the great teachers that we have and we attract really great new teachers. So I'd like anybody listening to this broadcast to think about your very favorite teacher, that person that you think, wow, I wish I could have had this person 10 times while I was in school. Think about that teacher and know that right now that teacher can go to another district in the area, Plainfield, Zionsville, Brownsburg, Westfield, Hamilton Southeastern. They can go to any one of those school districts and earn a lot more money. Specifically, they could go to Zionsville and earn 11% more a year. So your teachers are staying here with larger class sizes and less salary because they love Avon schools. But that's just not right. Our teachers are loyal, but they're only human. So we aren't going to be able to make up that gap that we have in competitive salaries right away. But if this referendum passes, over the course of the next 8 years, we will be able to make steady progress and keep those fabulous teachers that you all love and attract great new teachers.
There are over 24 polling locations for the May 8th primary in Hendricks County. For more information, go to the Hendricks County website. How are you going to vote? For AHS News, I'm Christian Steiner.
National Honor Society dues for our members are due in the AHS library by the end of the day tomorrow. If you need to make payments arrangements, contact Ms. Young right away. The month of May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and next Wednesday, May 2nd, we will have a mental health fair in the main gym during all lunches.
And we are already making an effort to help everyone stay positive. Remember, JAG is selling #TakeAMoment bracelets for $1.
That's also why our guidance counselors are guest anchoring with us. We want to know who you are.
You can always stop by to see us, and remember, there are a lot of coping methods and you have to find what works for you. But here are a few: yoga, practice deep breaths and stretching, listen to music, or maybe chat with a friend. And here's some inspiration. Every day begins with an act of courage and hope. Getting out of bed. That's by Mason Cooley. So we are all already off to a great start.
That's all for your OU report.
Have an awesome day, Avon.
Nobody plans it this way.